Now that you have your SCS3 unpacked and plugged in, it's time to get your hardware talking to your software. Unlike the SCS1, the SCS3 is a controller system only, so there is no need to configure any audio drivers. The new software and firmware updates for the SCS3 mean that mixing with Virtual DJ is easy and immediate once installed. Simply install Virtual DJ LE onto your computer. This version of Virtual DJ has been specifically designed to work with your SCS3, and the only thing left to do is to set the audio output to either your external audio device or simply via the internal sound card on your computer. When you launch Virtual DJ, you'll notice that the user interface, or skin as they call it, looks just like the SCS3, with two decks and mixer filling the top half of the screen. The bottom half of the screen is your browser and is where you select and load your music from. The transport controls on the 3D are very simply laid out at the bottom of the unit. There is a play-pause button, obviously used to play and pause your tracks, a cue button, used to stop and cue your track, sync button to sync your track to the other decks, and a tap button to manually tap out the tempo of the track. Searching through your track is done in vinyl mode, found in the deck mode area of the SCS 3D. Once vinyl mode is selected, your jog dial acts as a traditional piece of vinyl and lets you scratch and scan through the track. If you wish to use the jog dial simply as pitch bend, you can press the circular button to the top left of the jog dial. The other way to bend pitch while in vinyl mode is to use the two circular button controls below the jog dial, which will speed up and slow down your track. The last circle button in this mode will activate the key hold function, holding the track in key while you adjust the pitch. Setting cue points in Virtual DJ is done either using the 3D or 3M. To set on the 3D, first of all you want to locate where you would like to set your first cue point. To do this, press the vinyl button located at the top of the 3D unit. Press the play button in your transport controls twice so you have the track paused, then use the touch-sensitive jog dial to locate the position of the beginning of your track, and hit cue to set your first cue point. To set further cue points throughout your track, select the trigger mode button. This will activate the jog dial in trigger mode, and you will see the software change its view to indicate this. Once in trigger mode, you can easily set up to 8 cue points either on the fly or by pausing your track to set your cue points in a more precise way. If you want to delete any triggers when setting up, press the circle on the top right of the jog dial and press on the cue that you wish to delete. To set cue points with the 3M, ensure your EQ mode and FX buttons are turned off and are glowing purple. Then press one of the 4 buttons positioned directly below to set or trigger your cue points. Virtual DJ has been designed to keep your tracks in sync, while you concentrate on the task of entertaining your audience. When you add a new track to a deck, simply press the sync button in the transport section of your 3D, and the software will automatically sync to the track already playing. If you wish to manually control the pitch of a track, the 3D has a dedicated pitch fader, located here at the top right of the unit. There are 2 controls for swapping between your deck and mixer on the SCS3. Let's start with the SCS3D. To switch between your active decks in Virtual DJ, simply press the deck button located in the deck mode switch area at the top of the unit. The 3M has 2 channels and can be switched between decks 1 and 3 and 2 and 4. The mixer switch controls are located here at the top of the 3M unit. EQ is a vital piece of DJ control as it allows you to add or subtract frequency ranges from the song. EQ is generally controlled by DJs in low, mid and high frequencies, and the SCS3 has EQ controls on both the 3D and 3M units. To control EQ on the 3D, press the EQ button located in the deck mode switch section. This activates 3 faders on the jog dial, and you can drag your fingers up and down to manually set the EQ. In the EQ mode, your circle buttons are used as kill switches for high, mid and low, and the 4th button on the bottom right of the jog dial becomes a reset button which resets all EQ to 0. To control EQ on the 3M, press the EQ button located here, which will activate the 4 buttons below it as your low, mid and high EQ kill switches, and the 4th button to reset the EQs to 0. Looping on the SCS3 is activated by pressing the loop button located here on the 3D. Once activated, the jog dial is assigned with 9 different loop lengths, grouped in 2 sets over 5 button areas on the jog dial. The first set contains longer loops from 8 to 64 beats, and the second set contains loops from 1/4 of a beat to 2 beats in length. The button in the middle of the jog dial will always give you a 4-beat or 1-bar loop. Loops are activated by pressing any of these buttons and are deactivated by pressing the buttons again. By pressing the FX button on the 3D, the jog dial and surrounding buttons activate the effects controls, including 2 faders used to control the effect parameters on either side of the jog dial, plus 5 buttons. The button in the middle of the jog dial will activate and deactivate the selected effect. The button here on the top left of the jog dial will activate and deactivate the beat grid effect. The button on the top right will activate and deactivate the flanger. The bottom 2 buttons will scroll forwards and backwards through all the effects. The SCS3M is where you perform all of your audio mixing controls. Starting from the bottom of the unit, it contains a crossfader, used to fade between the left and right decks. Above this, there are 3 buttons. These 2 are used for PFL, pre-fader listening, which lets you cue the next track you want to play, and this button in the middle is used to change the mixer view between a standard mixer, scratch view, and video mixing mode. Above this, there are 2 channel volume faders and 8 buttons used to control cue points, EQ kills, and effects selection and activation. Above this, there are 4 buttons that toggle the modes for the 8 buttons located below. The FX button on either side switches to FX mode, and EQ will switch to EQ mode. Above this, there are 6 vertical faders that are used to control 3-part EQ or effects parameters when used in FX mode. Above this, there are 2 horizontal faders that are used to control the filter for each deck, except when in effects mode, where the faders will control the first effects parameter. Last of all, right at the top of the unit, there are deck buttons that will switch between decks 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. Stanton have included a free copy of Virtual DJ LE with your SCS3 setup, which lets you mix audio and video, but if you would like to take advantage of all the VDJ features, Stanton have also arranged a heavily discounted upgrade to the full version of Virtual DJ, which gives you the power to output your video to an external monitor, add your own pre-produced samples, and more. See instructions on the inside of your box for more details. Okay, so let's have a mix and see some of these features come together. Digital DJ, 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 digital DJ right now, digital DJ. right now, digital DJ, right now, digital DJ, right now, SCS3D deck style, digital DJ, right now, digital DJ, right now, digital DJ, right now, SCS3D deck style controllers, and S1M mixer controller. Much like its brother the SCS1, the SCS3 contains various controllers enabling DJs to mix, scratch, EQ, and affect all of their favourite music and video files through the included software, Virtual DJ or Router. Using a very futuristic touch-sensitive control system, the SCS3 sets itself apart from all other hardware controllers, as there are no faders, pots, jog wheels or encoders that can be broken or damaged in transit or use. It works very much like the next generation of tablet computers, where swiping gestures are the favoured control choice. The size and control features make the SCS3 a perfect setup for DJs who need to travel with their setup, and also for DJs entering the market. In the SCS3 box, you will find the SCS Digital DJ, right now, 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 in 2012. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions regarding the SCS3, please visit the Stanton website or write to us on our forum page.